Hey everybody. I don't know what I've done. I'm out of practice. Nothing I have is done correctly. Bear with me a sec. People, it's as you know, it's been a minute. There we go. Let's see here. All right. Mark is not here, people. I'm really doing this show tonight because I'm lazy, and the number of you that have taken the time to reach out to me: Tommy Bird, Charlie Mullins, Miss V, Lord Kiss Freak, KP Nordic. Thank you, Kiss Freak. Joanna W, good to see you. Miss V, glad you're here. Leisure Beast, Air's Flamin'. Virginia, hey, good to see you. I'm glad that you're all here. I really am. Thank you. Brandon, good to see you. I wanted to say thank you for everybody reaching out to me for my 29th birthday again. It blows me away. It really does. Every time a holiday comes around, or it really gets your attention just how much everybody reaches out. But the birthday is just, I don't know. It's humbling. It's almost embarrassing. It really is. But I've missed you too, Joanna. I've missed all of you. Truth be told. Kent, good to see you. Thank you. I appreciate that. I really do. This won't be a 1 hour broadcast, people. I really just sort of popped on to bring you up to speed a little bit, and to thank all of you for just being so kind and for being patient. Here's the thing. I know that all of us, really came to rely on each other. And what we do here, and me stopping that, for whatever reason. Yeah, Tommy says, my life isn't quite the same without the lifeboat. Well, neither's mine. Honestly, it's, I'm not as good a person without the lifeboat. And, that's sort of the reality of, I definitely needed a break, and as those of you who are unfortunate enough to be trapped in the loop even outside of the lifeboat, that I embarked on a huge project. I turned my backyard, which I had mentioned to everyone in the past, is just I'm relapsing back into my shell with walls around me. I'm sorry, Leisure. Truthfully, I am. My backyard has been just awful for a really, really long time. It's just one of the ugliest things that you've ever seen. And I thought, well, since I'm not doing the lifeboat, I will put down Blue. Good to see you. Hey, my brother, Johnny, good to see you, bud. I thought I would put down artificial turf. I'm a pretty big fan of artificial turf. I think anything you don't have to water or mow. How can you go wrong with anything that you don't have to water or mow? So I thought, well, I'll just put down some artificial turf. I'll knock this out in a week. It's one of those things that you look at and you think, I'm gonna jump on this and I'll nail it out. You watch a couple YouTube videos, and you start out, the idea is you have to take everything down about 2 or 3 inches, right? So I had 5 stumps that I ground down in the backyard. I talked to you guys about this. But I ground them down in anticipation of maybe growing some grass there or something. In order to put in artificial turf, you got to take it down considerably further. So I had to grind these 5 stumps again, which to take down far enough. Daniel, so good to see you. Alan Ballantyne. Alan, I love you, bud. I know Alan and I have been in contact. Poor Alan has to hear these stories all over again. It took an entire day to grind those 5 stumps down enough where I could get rid of them. And all of the pavers that I had in the backyard, there was a patio basically big enough that you could put a table and a rug on. And it was, so there's a lot of them. I don't know how many, but dozens and dozens of these pavers, which are about 1 foot by 1 foot wide, about 1.5 inches to 2 inches thick, these concrete squares. And I had to pull all those up, dig everything down, and then, like an idiot, I saw the video and it says, yeah, you put in some of this stuff that they call decomposed granite, which kind of looks like sand, except it packs a whole lot harder. Jason, good to see you, my brother. So I sent out my partner, and he came back with 2,700 pounds of this decomposed granite. And I said, we're set. We'll dump this in the backyard. We'll roll it over with that little roller thing, which is you pick it up, it's empty, and you fill it with water, and the next thing you know, it weighs 270 pounds. It's like a steamroller, but you walk behind it like a lawnmower. So I got a shovel and a wheelbarrow, and I emptied this 2,700 pounds, and I brought it to the backyard, and it covered maybe 8 to 10 square feet, as deep as they said it needed to go. And I thought, oh, shoot. So it ended up being about 22,000 pounds of crushed granite. Before it was all said and done, 22,000 pounds of this stuff, which I moved with a shovel and a wheelbarrow. And my nephew, is my business partner, and he helped quite a bit. But it's not really kind of a 2-man job. It's one of those things that only one person can really do at a time, especially within the confines of a garage. It's a so I started digging and managed to get through all of that without injuring myself, which is really kind of astounding because I'm one of those people that gets injured a lot. I've had a lot of surgeries, dozens and dozens of surgeries, as you guys know. So I got through all of that, and then we brought this carpet out, and you know how you would fluff a towel, like a bath towel, if you were trying to shake it out? I did this same kind of action to sort of get a little air underneath the carpet, so to speak, to shake it out a little bit so that we could straighten it. You kind of have to get this thing straight before you get it into place. And then you glue the seams, and then you nail these things down with these huge spikes. And in the process of fluffing out this artificial grass, fescue is the name of the artificial turf. And there was a lot of great fescue jokes, people. Like, we'd go to the place to buy it, and every time they would say fescue, one of us would go, God bless you, or Gesundheit, and there was just we had a lot of laughs. But unfortunately, in the process of fluffing out this turf and then trying to pull it, there was this just terrible sound that emanated. Mitchell, good to see you, bud. A terrible sound that fescue 9/11. I wish you had been there. So I tugged on this carpet, and there was just this popping sound that came from my elbow. And it dropped me. I mean, like I had been shot. I just sort of went down to the ground and rolled around a little bit. And I don't know if he's here, but if he is, I owe this injury to Mr. Jeffrey Canali. Because Cemetery, good to see you. This is a re-injury of Jeffrey Canali hyperextending my elbow back in, 20 years ago, 18 years ago, something. And I had surgery on it at that time. And I don't know if you can see the scar, but you probably can't see it on there. But it's a pretty good sized scar. Jeffrey, there you are. You such a nice guy. But Jeffrey, broke my my elbow, and I had surgery to fix it. About a year and a half after he did the damage, I had it fixed. And it worked fairly well up until a few years ago, and then it started sort of going downhill. And this was sort of the end of it. You know, now it needs to have another nice repair like the one that they did on it the last time. Which of course brings up a whole host of headaches because on the 27th of this month, I celebrated 7 years without pain medication in my life. And I thank you to everyone who reached out for that as well. But right around that same time as my injury, I got a pretty awful, I don't know, sort of a kick to the stomach, I guess. That puts everything in perspective. You know, you start feeling like, like life sucks, and I got my arm wrapped and I got it in a sling, and a lot of things where it was easy to complain. And many of you may know the name Ariel Herbert. Ariel was a lady on the Lifeboat, and a person that we agreed one Thanksgiving to adopt one another. I was in the halfway house, and I was on some hot pepper site, and she was on there, and she was complaining that her family had uninvited her to Thanksgiving because of her political views, which didn't line up with theirs. And I chimed in and just said something to the effect of, whatever your political views are, there's something really messed up about that getting all the way to where somebody wouldn't be allowed to come to a family dinner, especially on Thanksgiving. And I mentioned, that I was trapped without a family on Thanksgiving, and we agreed to adopt one another. And Ariel just turned out to be one of the most beautiful people I've ever met in my life. Just a beautiful soul. And she was a couple of years sober off of everything on the planet. Like, she was really I abused a lot of drugs. Ariel abused everything. And she got sober, and she was just one of the most bright and vibrant human beings. And we talk all the time about choosing beautiful, and how beautiful is a choice. It's not what you're born looking like or any of that crap. It's really a choice. And I've never met anybody that chose to be beautiful more than Ariel Herbert. And we lost her. So it was another member of the Lifeboat. Not terribly vocal, but here often. And she had been fighting so many medical problems for so long. It was just one of those situations that she was one of those, I don't know, she had cancer, and there was just so many different things going on, and she was fighting tooth and nail, and never said crap even when she had a mouthful of it, and it was, she really was having a tough go. She was always in chemo and always in radiation, and her body just quit. She passed on. And it was like getting kicked in the stomach. That one really, really just rocked me, because Ariel is one of those, she's just one of those people that, I don't know, she had one of those personalities that seemed like it was so much bigger than life that you didn't think that that she would ever be gone. You ever know anybody like that? But hands down, just one of the most beautiful people alive up until recently. And heaven is a better place, but we're not, which really kind of stinks. But it put my elbow and a lot of other things that were going on in my life into perspective. And it also put the Lifeboat into a different perspective as well. A couple of people who were very close with Ariel had reached out to me after her death, and I don't know if it was. I mean, the general consensus was that the first person said to me, she was so proud of everything you were doing on the lifeboat. It was really a big deal, and and it was almost like they got together, because everybody sort of said the same thing, and I had to say, well, I'm not currently doing that, I'm just sort of taking some time away because it was, becoming somewhat overwhelming. And hey, Pamela Swan, good to see you. But it just sort of put a lot of things. American Justice, good to see you. It put a lot of things into perspective. I'm going to be back. I'm making some moves right now to change up some of what we're doing on the boat. It isn't going to be the exact same format, but it's going to be the lifeboat. It's going to be all of us taking time every single day to get together and concentrate on being the best you that you can be. The best Mark, or the best Jackson, or the best Joanna, or the best Pamela, or the best me. The best Leisure. Leisure has 4 days until his birthday. Your birthday is on the 7th? My brother Johnny's is on the 6th. Jonathan Hicks says, that's good to know, even if I'm not a regular here. You don't have to be a regular here. I think that's one of the things that... made this channel unique, is that you could show up here. Ariel, with everything she was doing. Ariel, and she said to me, she was very open about it. She said, I love your channel. I said, thanks, that means the world to me. She's like, I try to catch it at least once a month. And then the first time she said it, I thought, well, damn, that sucks. But it was one of those things that occurred to me that, there are people that need the lifeboat 7 days a week. I'm one of them. Jeff, you are definitely irregular. Jeffrey Canali says, we're all irregular. Not as irregular as you, pal. There are some of us that need the lifeboat 7 days a week. I certainly do. Jimmy Pickles, I'm glad you're here. There are people who need the lifeboat a couple of days a week. There are people who need the lifeboat once a month. And maybe there are people who are only going to stop in once a year. But the core of us, the people that were here every single day, didn't deserve me walking away. And, a couple of people, I saw some posts from people that said, when Tommy jumped ship. And I mean, I guess that's what I did, it hurt a little to read it. I'm not mad at anybody. I'm really not, but it hurt to read it, because, the last thing in the world that I wanted to do was quit something that I literally spent, a decade thinking about putting together. I believe in the allegory of the long spoons, Jeffrey Canali says. Are you familiar, everybody, with the allegory of the long spoons? The first time I heard this, and maybe we're thinking the same thing, Jeffrey, but the first time that I heard about the long spoons, it was someone was shown a glimpse of hell, and was asked, the Lord, and if you don't believe in God, well, then suspend disbelief for a moment, people, because the story is good. But was asked to see what hell looked like, and he saw a table laid out with the greatest food in the entire world. Right? Just the most succulent, beautiful stuff that you could ever eat. And it was everywhere, right? It was stacked up. Street Mom, good to see you. The only problem was that everybody had their arm tied to this really long spoon. In fact, the spoon was so long that it was impossible to get this thing to your mouth, or even close. So there they sat with everything they could ever want to eat or drink or do anything with right in front of them, and the inability to ever do anything with it for the rest of eternity. And the person then asked to see a glimpse of heaven, and was shown the same scene. I mean, identical. There was, food and everything just laid out the same way, and all of these people with these really, really long... If you're going to be the captain, you're kind of married to the boat. Yeah, there's something to that. So it's all the same thing, right? This long spoon, and he said, this doesn't look any different, than hell. This is the same thing. And he said, you have to look a little closer. And the difference was that instead of trying to get this stuff to them, they were using that long spoon to feed the person on the other side. So, and I think that there's really something beautiful to that as a concept. I think that in a lot of ways here at the Lifeboat, we do a lot of that, right? We sort of take care of one another, and we do it every day for the people that need it every day. And yeah, Miss V, boy, I get it. I really do. I miss all of you too. Honestly, I really do. I don't think I could have done the boat and the backyard. I really don't think I could have pulled those off at the same time. I think this injury, as messed up as it is, this injury has sort of been a blessing. I've spent a lot of time asleep, a lot of time laid up, and a lot of time getting rest that I really badly needed, because even like once I stopped the boat, I just went immediately into 12 to 14 hour days, and that wasn't, helping me with the whole recovery thing a whole lot either. Really what I needed to do was to recover. I was pretty burnt out. There is a decent amount of effort, as I've said. I'm not trying to beat the crap out of this, but there's a decent amount of effort that goes on to putting on a show for an hour a day. But small things, making your bed, keeping the room clean. Like, I'm slipping. I am. And I know from emails, and I haven't read all of them. I really haven't, people. Like, I kind of distanced myself. And I think I needed to. I apologize to people I haven't gotten back to. I apologize for phone calls I haven't taken. But I promise you that we'll be back, and we'll be back as the family that started this. We'll be very much the Lifeboat. Only it's going to be better. I promise you. There's going to be a lot more. There's going to be a lot more content. It's going to be very different in a way that brings the crew in a much more active role to what we're doing here. So there's going to be a lot of chance. Hey, Sasquatch, good to see you. There's going to be a lot more opportunity for the people on the boat to be a very large part of the boat. And not just because I need a break, although I'm not going to lie to you, I need a break. And I mean, I've had one, right? Obviously, I've had a break. What I mean is, if I try to do an hour a day for the rest of my life, I'm going to burn out. I'm going to burn out, and every 9 to 10 months, I'm going to crash. I was able to do a lot of shows, and you heard Mark, right? You can go back and listen to him. It was put a lot of wear and tear on Mark, and a lot of wear and tear on Mark's family. It's me and Squirrel and my partner. So and of course my mom. But I didn't have the same commitments that Mark did, and that, as you heard, he was pretty articulate. His his time of the day to spend with his family was when we were going live on the Lifeboat. So that was a difficult thing, for Mark. So we're getting this retooled up. It's going to be, I can't tell you a ton about it. What I can tell you is this. It's not going to be at 6 o'clock. It's probably going to be at 5 o'clock, the time that we just started today. But it's going to be back. I don't need a ton more time. I certainly don't need more time to rest. Mark is one hell of a person, Brandon. I won't argue with that. Thank you. That's a really, really nice thing to say. Mitchell, it really is, but I feel like I got to say it anyway. The most valuable gift you can give someone is the gift of your time. There's something to that. And here's the thing, when we did the show a long time ago about me being lucky, that it wasn't a punchline, the reason I always said that is because I may be doing one of these shows every night, for an hour, but the difference between me and you all and Squirrel, is that, I need to prepare a little bit more for it, but all of you came here every day for an hour. And especially the core group, most of you are here right now. Most of the core group is here right now. But, to show up every single day, I know that I was, I know that I was blessed and I was lucky to have everybody showing up. And the fact that you're all still here today is a beautiful thing. It really is. But hang tight. It will not be much longer. I promise you. In the very near future, I'll be coming back here and saying, I am Tommy Scoville, and you are on the Lifeboat. Day 1 right here, 100. You know what, people? Keep doing what you're doing. This is the holiday weekend. This is going to be a tough one. There's going to be a lot of beer drinking. There's going to be a lot of dope getting done. Squirrel preps hardcore. She shuts her eyes and purrs and all. You know what, Brandon? If you could see Squirrel in a backyard, if Squirrel's an indoor kitty, but with the carpeted backyard, as long as I'm out there, I let Squirrel out, and she just goes absolutely insane. I may take some video of it, in which case I will get some sent out. But this is the absolute truth. You could count on 2 fingers the number of times that Squirrel has gotten into the basket and gone to sleep since I stopped filming. That's the truth. This cat really had a handle on what it means to be a crew member on the Lifeboat. Like Squirrel doesn't, Squirrel does not sleep here for any other reason but when I'm doing the Lifeboat. Now, I am, as I said, this is going to be a little bit of a quick one, people, so I'm bailing off here in about a half an hour. The reason is I'm actually going to a concert tonight. I'm going to be hearing a lot of Beatle music. I'm an old man, people. Has, again, 29th birthday, again. This moment will not die. This movement, no, it will not. It won't. We do all need each other. There's no doubt about that. And it will be back, people. So I want to thank every one of you for your patience, your understanding, for your kind words today, for all the birthday greetings. I got, virtual cards and letters and emails, and actually had some gifts dropped off. It's almost embarrassing, but I'll be back. Alrighty, people, hang tight. I promise you, I will be back. I am Captain Tommy Scoville, and this is a cat in a basket. Good night, everybody. We love you. Thanks, Squirrel. You're a good kitty. Good to be back on the boat. Good night, all. Happy 4th of July. Stay safe. Do the right thing.